Okay, guys, welcome back to this other edition of PI Cognitive Assessment Test Correction. The other day I was just going through YouTube and I found this interesting and amazing video from this guy who took the test and recorded it, where he did the 50 questions in 12 minutes. It was a nice video that he could upload this because I know a lot of us are trying to get this test done to either land a new job or something of that sort. And it's not that easy to find stuff online that can help you revise. So that's why whenever I see content in this direction, I always feel like, okay, I should jump on it and make a video where I share with you guys the different logics that I used in answering the different questions. So I'm also going to post the link to the original video to shout out to just to give a shout out to the guy who posted the original video. I think if more of you take the test and record it, we're going to have a lot more content to help others prepare easily when they are also planning to when they also get a new job proposal and stuff like that. Okay. As usual, I have this disclaimer where I'm saying we should, of course, the different logics that I propose here are true, but you shouldn't just take it for 100%. So I prefer to put a small percentage there just to say it's not don't just take it as the Catholic truth. So as you see, this is the first part. We're just going to be answering the first 25 questions in this video. And then there will be a second part where I answer the rest of the 25 questions. If I wanted to make a video of 50 questions at once, it's the rendering and export is going to take so much time to generate, and that's going to also be very heavy to upload on YouTube. So that's why I decided to break it down into two separate parts. You can also check, we've also done previous videos where I separated it into three main parts. In those videos, that's the test I took, but this time around, this is another test that another guy did. But you don't need to worry, all the questions are here and the answers. So without wasting any much time, let's get into business. So this is question one. We have this shape. So this shape is to this one as this is to, we need to look for the next shape here. So the logic we use here, you would see that in the center we have black. In this transformed figure, we have in the middle the black. The white, which was the middle here, is now the outermost. As you can see, white, which was the middle, has gone to the outermost, and the outermost gray we had has gone back to the center. So now we have gray here. So if we apply the same logic to this figure, you'll definitely see that the hashed zone has to go to the next layer. The white layer has to become the third layer. The third gray layer becomes the outermost layer, and then the black layer has to go to the center. So we definitely see that our answer here is B, right? So we set the black in the middle, the hashed just on the second, and then the white on the third lane, and finally the gray getting the outermost. So the answer there is B. It's some sort of a circular permutation that we are doing. Okay, question two. Question two says you are responsible for mailing 50,000 letters. You must mail 50% of the total letters over the next 5 days. If you plan to mail 1/5 of this amount each day, what is the total amount that you plan to mail each day? Okay, so we know that per day we mail 1/5 of 50% of the 5,000, right? So you just put it in this mathematical expression and you simplify, and you're going to get 5,000 mails per day. Okay, so the answer is D. Question three, chisel is to stone as mold is to. We know that the chisel is used to cut stone, right? So the mold will be used for clay, for molding, right? So the answer is B. Straightforward. Now we have this another geometrical logic you need to apply here just to see how the shape evolves from the first to the second to the third, right? To find out what is the fourth one, okay? So you see that from this to this, I'm just gonna look at the small balls, or if you can call them X or whatever. You see that this one goes here, right? So this one goes here, this one goes to the middle, and this one goes up there. That's basically what's happening here. So it's some sort of like a circular permutation, or let's say rotation, like this, right? So you see this one goes to the middle here, and in this case it goes to the third. So obviously in the next situation, this one should be the first. So that leaves us with only yeah, that leaves us with three options: this, and this, and obviously B is eliminated. Now the next is this one with this circle with the hashed lines. We see that it goes here, it comes here, so it should definitely be in the middle, right? So it's either this, and it cannot be this, right? So it's between this and this. Now we take the final circle there, which is also a bit hashed, but with with less gaps as compared to this one. So we see it goes ahead, goes to the middle, so it should be the third. So it's either this or this, right? So we are left with these two options. Now we now look at the arrows. Look at this arrow. When this arrow comes in front, it changes direction. When this arrow comes in front, it changes direction, right? So definitely this one would also change direction. Whatever the arrow is. You see, at the beginning the arrows had whatever the type of arrow, whenever whenever they switch to the first part, they all get this um this same thing. You see that the dashed lines here are not that a bit longer than this one, so you cannot compare this to this one. And we see that these two are the same. So when this comes here, it's going to take the same form and it's going to be reversed. So the only answer there is C. Okay. I don't know why I took so much time on this question, but if you've watched our previous videos, you see that this question comes very oftenly. So you just need to look at it well. I've answered it in the previous video, so you can also check out that video. In this one, which of the following is the opposite of the word moderate? So it's either the person's moderate or he's extreme, right? So it's extreme. That's the antonym. Question 6. Okay, here we have some maths. What is the next number in the sequence below? So we have 3, 2, 6, 4, 9, 6. You can easily identify this as two series, right? So the first series or sequence is that you have 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 3 9. The other one is 2 plus 2 4 plus 2 6, right? So definitely the next one is 3 plus 3, which is 12. So the answer is A. Okay. Question 7. Which of the following is the opposite of the word biased? So definitely it's not unfair. So whenever you're in an argument, someone is either being biased in his way of argumenting or he is being objective. Okay, so it's objective. Bias or being partial and unfair are the same. So they are not exactly the same, but they would resemble each other much easily. Question 8, another question where you need to use some geometrical you have to look at some patterns. Yeah, so these are called patterns. So we have from this pattern to this one, we see that the dark middle goes to the edges, while the edges go to the middle. Easy peasy, right? So it's the same here. We see the cross, the white cross would go to the edges, and then the dots in the edges would come to the center. So it's no other one but D. Okay. Next question, question 9. Okay, this says Sam has been asked to prepare 40 documents in 2 work days. There are 8 hours in each work day. Each document takes 30 minutes to prepare. So, assuming Sam works both days, how many hours of help would he need to finish in 2 work days? That's a simple maths questions. We know he has 2 work days, so 2 work days means he has 16 hours because each day is 8 hours. He takes 30 minutes per document. It means in 1 hour he's gonna do 2 documents, right? So in 16 hours he's gonna do 16 times 2 documents, which is 32 documents. But we know there are 40 documents in total, so he can do 32 documents and then he would need help for 8 documents, right? And since one document is taking 30 minutes, it means that he's going to need, um, he's going to need, uh, yeah, he's going to need 4 hours of extra work from someone to do the job. So the answer is A. Okay, so the question was how many hours of help he needs to finish the work. So 4 hours, and the answer is A. We go to question 10. Wow, we are really fast on this. This is good. I like the speed. I hope you're also understanding while watching. So we have the assumptions. All vice presidents and some directors work on the 12th floor. Some directors work on the 11th floor. Now, the conclusion is the director of the engineering department works on the 10th floor. If the assumptions are true, is the conclusion also. So actually, we have these two assumptions, and then we have this conclusion. Is it obvious? Is the conclusion obvious? We see that on here, we say all the vice presidents are on the 12th floor, but just some of the directors are on the 12th. Some of the directors are also on the 11th. So um, they didn't say where all the directors are, so we don't have enough information to know if the director of engineering department is on the 10th floor or not. Okay, if they had said something like the rest of the directors are on the 11th floor, then this would have been incorrect, right? Because they are either on the 11th or 12th. But they just said some are on the 12th, some are on the 11th. So we are not sure if he's on the 10th floor or not. So we don't have enough info to confirm that, right? So the answer is A. Question 11. What is the next number in the sequence below? We have 112, 56, 28, 14. When you divide this by 2, you get this. Divide by 2, you get that. You divide this by 2, you get 14. And 14 divided by 2 is no other person but 7. Okay? Oh, using persons and numbers. It's not the same thing. Sorry, guys. Question 12. Question 12, another pattern question. So we are moving from this to this and this. So what's the next? So you always just need to look at how the different colors are moving. We look at the black box or the black spot. It moves one step to the right, one step to the right, and one step again to the right. And obviously it's going in the clockwise direction. Okay. So we have there, there. So we have there, so here, and it goes there, so here. Then obviously the next one would be here, right? So we are left only with B and D as options. A and C are out. Now we look at the next one, the hashed one. See, the hashed one is here. So it's going 2 steps in the anti-clockwise direction. So goes here to be here, 2 steps to be here, and definitely 2 steps to be here, right? So it's no other but B. Okay, hope you're enjoying it so far. Now we have question 13, which is a bit more mathematical. For me, when I was taking this test, whenever I see questions that were really long, like this one, I would just keep and go forward to answer more questions as much as I can, right? Because this you can actually sit. You kind of need a little piece of paper, unless you are a great genius, but you need a little piece of paper just to do the math. Okay, so we have the question goes: a customer telephone center receives 1,200 calls in a 24-hour period. So of these calls, 75% occur between 9:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. and calls are evenly distributed during this time. If each person handles 10 calls an hour, how many people are needed to handle calls during these hours? So we start by looking for the total number of calls. So we know that 75% of the calls in between that time, that's 75% of 1,200 is 900, right? 900 calls. Now the total number of hours between 9:30 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. is 6 hours, right? So we need to know the number of people we need to take 900 calls in 6 hours. We know that in 1 hour, one person can do 10 calls, right? So in 1 hour, 10 calls are done by one person. In 6 hours, that one person would do 60 calls, right? That's just 6 times that. Now, in 6 hours, how many persons do we need to make 900 calls? So we know that 60 calls are done by one person. So 900 calls are going to be done by how many people? You have to just take the number of calls, um, total number of calls, and divide by the number of calls of one person, right? So that's why we have 900 divided by 60, and we have 15 people. Okay, so we have 15 persons who are going to take the call in that time slot. Okay, hope you're enjoying. Let me know in the comment section if you don't understand the math. I can always send you my email address, and I'm open. We can discuss this, and I give you more insights on it. But it's normally a simple proportion question, not a, yeah, a simple proportion question. So just go gently and do the math. Question 14. Thirsty is to drink as exhausted is to. Easy peasy, right? So when you're thirsty, you drink. So when you're exhausted, you take a rest. So the answer is D. Question 15. We have these two structures and we need to look for the structure which is not part of the family, right? We see that there is this line of symmetry when it means that if you cut the part here, you can literally fold one, you can literally overlap one side to the other, right? You can fold them. You can bring this side over this one. Same here. If you cut here, you can bring it, you can bend it here. You can also bend here and have exactly the same thing here, here as well, except this one. If you bend here, this side is not the same. This side is a bit concave while this is being, oh no, yeah, this is being concave and this is somehow convex and it's not good, right? So you have to, so this is the odd one. The answer is D, not part of the family. You're the outcast. Get out. Okay, guys, let's continue. Question 16. Which number has the lowest value? For me, I know I can easily add numbers, so whenever I see this kind of operation, the first thing that comes to my mind is to do the math quickly, right? So when you do the math, you can easily identify which one is the smallest, which is C, okay? Easy question. Question 17, we are given a series of assumptions and we need to check if the conclusion is, if we can get this conclusion out of these assumptions, right? Okay, the first assumption goes all X items are blue. D items are always yellow or the same color as X items. It means some of the D items are either yellow or blue. Only blue items are for commercial use. So all the items of X are for commercial use, and some of the items of D are for commercial use, while the others are not, right? Because they say only the blue. So make sure you take care of this. Only the blue. It means the yellow are not. Now they say all D items are for commercial use, and that's incorrect because some of them are yellow and they are not for commercial use, right? I know some would say they said only blue items are for commercial use, but they didn't say anything if the yellows are or not. But just the fact they said only the blue ones, so it means the yellows are not. Okay, if they said blue items are for commercial use and they don't say anything like only, then there you can say you don't have enough information to know if all the D items are for commercial use, right? But in this case, they are really, really specific. They said only the blue ones. Okay, so the answer is C, incorrect. Next question, another transformation question where we have a geometry transforming into another, and then we need to check, we need to apply the same logic to this, to the next geometry to get the answer. So we start by looking at the outer shell. We see that the outer shell is flipped, right? From this one to this one, it's flipped upside down. So when we apply the same to this one, we have A and B as potential candidates. Obviously, C and D are out. Now we look at the internal. We see we have this arrow pointing upwards. It's rotated to the anti-clockwise. So it's rotated like this, choop, and then it's now pointing in that direction. And then its inner color becomes gray. So if we apply the same to the inner arrow here, we take it like that, it's gonna point downwards, and then the inner is gonna be gray. So the answer is B. Okay, guys. Question 19, what is the next number in the sequence? So I made a small mistake here. It should be 19. What is the next number in the sequence? Oh yeah, but you can still see the 19 here. So we have 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. 3, so you can easily see 2 plus 3, 5. 3 plus 5, 8. 5 plus 8, 13. 8 plus 13, 21. Okay, so it's like we add the two previous numbers to get the next one. So we add 8 and 13 to get the next one, which is 21. So the answer is D. Question 20. Oh, this is another transformation. This is another pattern question. So you just need to look at how each little ball is evolving, right? So we see this is quite an easy one. So we see the white one goes to the right and then goes down in the clockwise direction, and the black one goes anti-clockwise and down to be here. So definitely the black one is gonna go right and the white one is gonna go left, right? And that's no other one but A. Okay, make sure you get it well. So the white one goes like one to be here, down to be here, and definitely will go here to be here. Okay, same for the black one, goes here to be here, here to be here, and therefore definitely going to be here, here. Okay, guys. Question 21. Assumptions again. They say some team leads in the engineering department work on the 10th floor and the remainder worked on the 9th floor. Employees from various departments work on the 10th floor. Conclusion. Some employees in the engineering department work on the same floor as employees the from other departments. And I say that's correct because on the 10th floor, there's the engineering, some of the leads in the engineering department are on the 10th floor. And then they say employees from the various departments work on the 10th floor. So definitely some of the employees in the engineering department work on the same floor as employees of other departments. That's the 10th floor, right? So just this statement was even enough. That's correct. A. Now we have these shapes, and then we need to choose the odd guy from the family here, right? We can literally see that this is regular, this is regular, this is regular, 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 except this guy who is not regular, right? So that's directly D. 23. Which number has the lowest value? So for me, I easily can convert numbers into decimals and easily identify them, okay? So that's why I convert 1.7 into a decimal number. So it's like 0.14, 1 on 5 is 0.2, 1.7, 0.19. So the answer is A, 1 on 7, okay, which is the smallest. Then we go to the next one. Which of the following is the opposite of the word hostile? So either someone is hostile or he's cordial, right? I think you can tell me something else, but from my English classes, I think it's cordial. Question 25, which is going to be the last question. Which number has the lowest value? So you just have to multiply them and check which one has the larger denominator to conclude who is the, or not who, which is the smallest. So you can easily see 1/4 times 1/5, it's 1 on 20, that 1 on 10, 1 on 24, and 1 on 15. So definitely 1 on 24. C is the right answer. So guys, um, we come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure to always leave comments down if you find some mistakes that I've done. Man's not perfect. So share with me your logic on some of the questions. It's not, I have my way of reasoning, but you might also have your own way of reasoning out these questions. So please, I'll be happy if you share that with me. And so that in the next videos, I will make sure that I try to also use those logics to answer some of the questions. And make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, share. I mean, what more can I ask from you than these three basic things that keep the channel running? And of course, good luck in your preparations and in your interview. And I can only wish you to land the job if it's really your dream job. Even if it's not, we need money to survive, right? So, see you guys. Peace.